Hey, what's up guys? Node Investor here. Just want to bring a quick weekly recap in this wonderful cryptocurrency market space and an update on Bitcoin and some of the action we're seeing today. A couple of key levels to watch here over the weekend and the next couple of days, but all in all, the market remains favorable. I remain positive on the markets. And so let's take a quick look. For the week, some of the big winners in the billion-dollar club. EOS just continues to power higher, making new highs. Tron had a big week, up 40%. Steam looking very strong this week. Icon continues to gain traction, is breaking out. We'll take a look at the chart there. Bitcoin Cash, even though it pulled back, still up over the last 7 days significantly, and Binance is looking pretty good. But all around the board, not a huge week compared to last week. We did see a pause after Bitcoin hit $9,700 earlier this week, but nonetheless, some of the names just continue to power higher in spite of the pause that we're seeing in the broader market. The coin market cap remains above $400 billion. Let's take a quick look at the charts. So looking at the daily chart of Bitcoin first, you can see we continue to hold this 10-period moving average. We've had a pretty good pullback. A lot of volume came in as we retreated from that $9,700 mark, but we found support right at the moving average. We undercut it briefly, but we were still holding, and now we're starting to move higher. The RSI also cooled off. This pullback was enough to take it back from the 70 down to the below 60 range, and that gives it enough of a little bit of a reset, some cool off period. And so I'm liking the action here. It's consolidating some of the move we saw over the last 2 weeks. This is very healthy, very positive action, and as long as it continues to hold this support level, this is most likely going to just set up for another leg higher that'll take us over that $9,800 mark. Above that, the next level to be watching is a psychological 10K mark, and then ultimately we want to take out this $11,600 area, because that would confirm this big picture double bottom that we're seeing in the big picture over the couple of weeks here on the weekly chart and the daily chart here. So we had this big double bottom that formed with the first low in February, and then this rounded second bottom that started to form here around that $6,500 mark here in March and April. This is a potential double bottom, and it won't be confirmed until we get over this middle resistance point here around 11.6, 11.7. So ultimately getting back over 12K would confirm that. That will also change the tone in a lot of the bearish sentiment that still persists. I believe we have hit a low. We have broken the trend line that has been in place for some time, but to be fair, we have not confirmed this double bottom yet until we get back above that zone. I'm just not willing to wait. You guys know where I stand. I've been positive in the market since we started to hit this low. The altcoins have bottomed well before Bitcoin confirmed. Once we get above this zone, then that will be further confirmation that the low isn't. But at that point, you're going back in hindsight, and we're almost up, 80% from that point up. Taking a look at the closer picture here on the 4-hour chart. So looking at Bitcoin, you can see we had that pretty steep pullback here over the last couple of days, but what's happening now is we're starting to form a little bit of an equilibrium pattern. So we had that high, and then we're forming this low. Then we made a lower high, but now we're making a higher low here. So as long as this holds, that's very positive, because what we're doing is we're just kind of consolidating this move, and we're expecting to see this. And now I'd like to see a little bit of an ascending triangle base start forming here on the 4-hour over the next couple of days before we see another move higher. At this point, the consolidation has been about 3 or 4 days now, so we could start moving higher, but it would be very healthy to see this flatten out just a little bit longer and set up for a move higher. But all in all, it's looking very positive. We had that big pullback, and that was the first test off of the big rally here we saw last week, and we just found this good low. Yesterday, I was watching the 4-hour to get back above the 10 EMA and then ultimately above this $9,200 mark. We did that in one bar with some very strong volume. Then we kind of just paused yesterday. Now we're pulling back, but today we made a higher low. And so all in all, still looks positive, just normal consolidation, normal ebb and flow of the market. And this is very healthy as we continue to stair step our way higher on the daily chart. Taking a look at Ethereum, so this is BTC on the 4-hour chart, and has just been very strong for the first half of April, and finally took a little bit of a pause here, but just quick pullback. Now it's looking like it wants to go higher. If you go to the daily chart on this guy, just very strong action, one big red candle, and now it's just moving higher and just looking like it wants to continue higher. So the next level up, we're right at resistance here on this FBTC chart. You can see it paused right below that. Looks like it wants to get above. So the next level up is going to be just above this zone here, just shy of the 0.08 level. And so that's another 7% higher, and then above that I'd be looking at the 8.7 mark, which is about another 20% from here. So all in all, ETH continues to be the stronger of the big three, outperforming Bitcoin and just marching higher and looking very good here in the near term. Litecoin. So Litecoin versus Bitcoin is not as strong. You can see it's just been very choppy back and forth here for the last couple of weeks, and in recent days just lagging a little bit, living below that 10 EMA on the 4-hour charts. But we're right at a support level that we've seen established here twice. So keep an eye on this level. I'd like to see a reversal on Litecoin, see if we can start playing some catch up again and move higher. You can see the RSIs here is down at the lows, but up to now it just has not been very strong. Pretty choppy and just kind of sideways versus Bitcoin. So the USD pair on Litecoin is going to look very similar to the Bitcoin. EOS. So I want to show you guys the EOS USD chart first, because this just paints a picture of just textbook climbing the chart, just very good action. You can see stair steps its way higher, then here it forms a very nice ascending triangle base on this daily chart, or on this USD chart on the 4-hour, and then look at how it breaks out. It just explodes higher with huge volume, way above average, and that continues the next leg up. We see another little bit of a pause here. There's a bull pennant that forms there, then more volume comes in, it goes higher and just continues to march higher, making new highs, looking very strong versus Bitcoin as well. How high does it go? Once things are in new high territory, it's really hard to say because the RSI loses a little bit of relevance at that point, so you can't really say something is overbought. And so at that point, you just really start watching the broader uptrend on the daily charts. You start looking for those signs of reversal, or if you're trading, you're taking profits into strength. But nonetheless, EOS remains one of the strongest names of the markets and just moving higher with a lot of strength. But I must caution, it is feeling a little extended, not necessarily a sell signal, but buying at these levels would certainly be high risk. So just keep an eye on this moving average and just try to stay with the trend as much as you can if you're on something like this. But I would be hesitant about chasing a name like this. Long term, I think EOS is very good. I believe it will go higher long term, but near term, next couple of days, next couple of weeks, do we see a pullback and a correction? It's likely just a matter of what point in price does it decide to finally take a little bit of a breather. Icon, one of the names I really like going into May. This has been a very strong performer here over the last couple of weeks. Just look at how steady this trend has been here. And then now we're starting to see that acceleration, which is very typical of this type of action. When you see this stair-stepping move and then towards the top, you get a little bit of almost a climactic kind of parabolic move, but there's no telling how high this goes. We just broke out above a key resistance point. You can see that prior high we had from a couple weeks ago. It's breaking out with some good volume. Now clearing this resistance. The next level I'm watching on the upside is right around that 64,000, 65,000 Satoshi level. So that's quite a ways up from here still, but just very strong action. I continue to want to watch this one move higher. I expect this one will just stair step its way there, but looking very good all around. One to certainly watch going into 2018. It's one of my top picks for 2018 and a platform that should be on your watch list. And finally, one more I want to point out for a play to watch going into May is ARK. I've been watching this pattern set up here, and this is getting very narrow, very tight, and this is a symmetrical pattern that will be breaking out here in the coming weeks. Could it go either way? Yes, but odds favor this will break to the upside. there are some developments going on with a project that could be a catalyst for this, but keep an eye on this pattern as it gets very narrow here and very tight. You're starting to see some good volume accumulation here in recent days as it's starting to march higher. And so this is one I'm watching going into May. It's a smaller cap name. It's a platform play. They've made a lot of changes to their code, a lot of development. It's no longer just a straight fork from Lisk. And so ARK is something that I'm keeping a close eye on here in the near term. I like this setup. I like the project. So definitely watch how this one plays out over the next couple of weeks. So that's it for now, guys. Just wanted to bring that quick update on Bitcoin. Again, the levels to watch over the next couple of days are these most recent intermediate highs here around 93, 9400. If we get back above 9400, then we'll be retesting this most recent high at 97, just above 97 there. And on the downside, I want to see this 8900, 8800 level hold. That'd be good support. If it just continues to go choppy here for a couple of days, that would be just fine, as it would continue to just set up a nice strong support level from which we get another leg higher. So thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you have not already done so. Until next time, take care, everyone.